Hey guys, welcome back. Amrezy, second look today. The one prior was pink. I just love this palette, and besides the fact, have a look at the pink and the glitter on the actual palette itself. Oh my god. So yesterday, or the last video, I used the pinks and this little copper sort of gold here. So today I've stuck with the browns and golds on this end. And I've come up with this look and absolutely do adore it. I love the gold glitter. I feel like it's just stunning. So if you like this look, just stick around and we'll get stuck into the makeup. Okay, priming my eyes as always with my P.Louise and my P.Louise brush. This one is 01. And then I'm just tapping that off as always with my NARS 42 soft blending brush. Okay, so straight in with a dark brown. This is 1988. Nice warm brown on a Morphe 506. I'm just going into the socket and above. Okay, so that colour's in. I'm just wiping off my brush on a towel, and I'm just going to go very, very lightly right around the edge of that just to soften. So holding my brush right out at the end and just doing really soft backwards and forwards motions here. Okay, so now going in with OG, which is a warm caramel brown. The same brush, and I'm just going to pop that in around that brown, so just tapping it in first. And just putting it right on top of that blend. And I'm just wiping that brush off again, and I'm just going to go right around the edge of that. And because I don't have much space, I do end up blending right up into my eyebrow area. I think that's gone in a little bit too far, so I'm just going to take a little bit of that off. Alright, and then I'm just going to go back into 1988, just back from that blend, and just put a bit more intensity back in. And then I'm grabbing my NARS 42, just going around the outside edge, and then I'm just going to go in between those two browns. I've just stripped off because it's just too hot and I don't want to put the air conditioner on. It's just too noisy. Now I've got a wrinkle right here, and I did go down right over the top of that wrinkle, and then I've just looked at it and gone, no, I can't have that real dark on top of that wrinkle. So I've just gone in with a tissue and just taken that colour out of there. Yeah, you can see now that wrinkle will be covered up by foundation. So I'm just going into 1988 on a smaller brush. So this is a Sigma E21, tiny little brush. And I'm just filling in this outer edge here. a little bit more. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to use a concealer on an angled brush. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy. And I'm just going to go right along this edge here, just so I don't touch it when I actually go in and put my foundation on. Just blend that down. So now I'm just going to go into Decay's eyeshadow primer in Caffeine, which is a really light colour. And I just want to go in and create a bit of a shape here. Just out to that outer edge. I'm just going to perfect that line with a 242 from Mac. I'm just tapping that off where that meets the darker brown. And then I just want to go into Georgina, which is a beautiful bronze shimmer there on my Makeup Forever 240. So I'm just going over the entire lid where I just placed that primer, trying to retain that shape that I just put in. And then I'm just grabbing the 506 again and 1988. Just softly going over that edge with it. Okay, so time for some glitter glue. So I'm just popping that on my Makeup Forever 240 and just tapping that over. And then I want to go straight into Gemini, which is that beautiful bronzy gold glitter there. Beautiful. So on the side where the glitter glue is, I'm just going to put that colour on and then just tap it over. Okay, so most of the rest of my makeup's done. I'm going to put the bottom lash line on, but before I do that I'm going to go in with Marc Jacobs Blacquer. You will have seen me do this 1,000 times. I've used a little bit of a different lash today. I've used Anastasia's So Hollywood. I'm not quite sure if I like them. A little bit different style for me, a little bit longer through the center here, but they're still sparse enough that you can actually see that gold through it. Alrighty, bottom lash line into the waterline. I'm going to use a NYX gold liner. Let's see if that works. Not really coming out too well. Oh yeah, there it goes. I'm just going to take that right up into the inner corner and underneath my lash line just there. And then I'm just going to go into Dragon, which is a beautiful gold shimmer there. And I'm going to use an Anastasia 3. It's a liner brush. And I'm just going to see if I can set that gold liner and then just go up into the inner corner there as well. And then I'm just going to dip back into 1988, that warm beautiful brown there, on a Zoeva smudger brush. Just going to pop some of that on the outer edge here and meet up with that darker colour. And then with the 221, I'm going to go back into that more caramel brown OG. Just a little touch underneath here. Alrighty, onto the home stretch, some MAC Giga Black Lash. Bottom lash line. So at the moment I've got some Joseph Colours Knock on Wood on, and I just want to go over it with this lip gloss from Anastasia. It's called Gilded. It's nice and gold, so I'm going to see how it turns out. Nice, I like that. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I really do like how that turned out. That gold glitter is absolutely stunning. I haven't done a gold glitter in a long time, and I do like the combination of those two lip products as well. So that's two looks I've done. I think the one prior was pink, and then this is the bronze and gold. So very versatile. I think I said in my last video as well, I did want to get stuck into that blue, but I'm not quite sure whether I'll do an Amrezy palette next. We'll see. So if you like my look today, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.